We are going to recording in process. Excellent. So now I will share my screen with you and we'll dive into this presentation. I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday. It's a crazy time of year. All right, so let's talk about molecular hydrogen. Hi, Michelle, welcome. Thanks for coming. We're just getting started, so you didn't miss anything. So can everybody see my screen? Just like raise a hand or shout out if you can't. Okay, you can? Okay, good, good, good.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right. So, what is molecular hydrogen? It is a gas that we can infuse into our bodies in different ways, and it has incredible therapeutic effects. So, it has been super fun just learning about the properties of this because it's so simple. And a lot of the tools that I work with as a regenerative health practitioner, it's a little more complex. You know, there's a process that we have to go through to get to the goodness. Whereas this is so simple, you know, it's very approachable for anybody. You can just infuse your water with molecular hydrogen, and every sip can start becoming therapeutic, which is super exciting stuff. So, what is H2? On a deeper level, I mean, it is literally the first element that was ever formed in the universe. It's a hydrogen gas that was literally like the essence of these stars and was the first substance that brought us all into being. So it's really, really cool. If you look deep into the science of this, we could talk about that all day long. It is so special. So it's the smallest molecule in the universe and the most abundant. So this allows it to permeate through the membrane into the entire cell. So it's bringing water intercellular. And this is so hard because like we're all trying to stay hydrated, right? Like it's one of the most important things you hear all the time, stay hydrated. But frequently we're drinking water and it's running right through us. We're not actually absorbing it in the way that we need to for it to be benefiting us on a very deep level. So when our cells are deeply hydrated, it can be the difference between like a grape and a raisin. So hydration is not just about drinking water, it's about ensuring that the water that you are drinking, oh, we got one more person coming in. It's about ensuring that the water that you're drinking is absorbed and utilized by your cells. So molecular hydrogen makes this possible. And dehydration is actually one of like the subtle underlying leading causes of disease. It's like we're all just chronically dehydrated. So it's one of the coolest aspects of this. It's so small it can cross the blood-brain barrier too and really get into the neural function. We'll talk more about that in a second. So we are electrical beings, you know, whether we want to think so or not. You know, I like to use the example of, I mean, think about what's the difference between a dead person and an alive person? And most people will be like, oh, you're breathing. Oh, your heart's beating. Yes. But what is actually causing that to happen? It's the electrical signals in the body. We are sending out signals all the time. And what are the carriers for these signals? We need lubrication. We need to be properly hydrated in order for the signals to fire. So, what happens when we are deeply hydrated and we are oiling our engine, so to speak? So, this facilitates cellular function on a deep level. So, water is the primary medium where biochemical reactions can occur. So, this includes energy production, nutrient transportation throughout your blood, because your blood is feeding the whole body, and waste removal, so the cleaning of the lymph. So, without adequate hydration, these processes start to slow down and your cells can't function optimally. So, this also helps the cells to maintain their structure and optimize their function, really boosting cellular ATP production, energy production, which can help heal the whole body. And it also balances electrolytes in the system as well when we're properly hydrated. So everything is more impactful when we bring molecular hydrogen into the body. So this is one of the coolest aspects that I discovered when I was dabbling at first with this product, or with the tool that I use, the vessel that I use to make the molecular hydrogen. And what I noticed right off the bat was all of a sudden I needed less of my supplements. I needed less of the nutrient dense foods that I eat to feel just as nourished or more so. So, this is actually having a huge impact in the body as far as making things more effective. So, whatever you're taking, it's going to work better. You'll need less of it. So, this is going to save you money in the long run too, because everything's just working better and absorbing better. It's really cool. It also works as a selective antioxidant in the body. So, what does that mean, right? This can be confusing on some level, but it's like it has its own consciousness on some level. When molecular hydrogen comes into the body, it knows where the most inflammation or damage is happening. And it's like, okay, let's send the signals over there so the body knows what to do. It's bringing back on the communication in the body and helping our redox cells to know what to do and helping all of the communication. So that's what I mean by selective. So it's reducing free radicals and it's reducing the damaging things, but it knows how to keep the beneficial ones, which is really, really awesome and what we need to repair our bodies. So it's also upregulating the NRF2 pathway, which some people have genetic issues with this. And we could talk about this all day long too. There's a lot of deep science on this. And if you want to have another conversation about this in the future, let me know. But basically, to put it in simple layman's terms, like if all of us had functional NRF2 pathways that were in perfect condition, we would never get sick. We would never have a symptom. It's that simple. So they are responsible for producing and regulating over 200 different protective proteins in the body and improving our genetic expression and the ability for our cells to actually detoxify naturally and in a gentle way. So people who have NRF2 pathway issues, usually they don't detox well, and it's really hard for them to get their cellular waste out. So this makes it a lot easier. So molecular hydrogen can also rapidly reduce oxidative stress. So what is oxidative stress? I mean, this can come from bad diet, just general like stressful lifestyle, your work, your relationships, like, having an argument with your boss. It's affecting your cells. Smoking, alcohol, lack of exercise, phthalates that are in like plastic products and things, environmental toxins, heavy metals, any kind of pesticides, drugs, or infections in the body. This is how oxidative stress happens. And this damages our mitochondrial DNA and our nuclear DNA. And nuclear DNA refers to the genetic material that's actually found within the nucleus of the cell, which is like the heart of the cell. And then it also affects lipid peroxidation, which, again, in simple terms, this means that free radicals are interacting with lipids in a negative way. And apoptosis is it's a function of the body of getting rid of bad cells, which our body should be able to do when it's communicating in the right way. It's like, hey, there's a bad cell. We got to get rid of it. We got to replace it with a new one. So we want all of these functions in the body to be really clear and to be happening all the time. So when we bring in molecular hydrogen, all of a sudden these things start rapidly declining. So even like somebody who smokes frequently, if they're drinking molecular hydrogen, they're going to be doing their body a huge solid than if not. So I had some little points that I really wanted to hit on as far as my favorite benefits that molecular hydrogen has, but there's such a plethora of things that we could talk about. So I just wanted to give you a summary right now because this could be a much longer workshop. But it's got anti-diabetic effects, improves cognitive function, protects RNA and DNA, protects from radiation. If you're going through any kind of chemo or radiation therapy, this is phenomenal support. Protects from neurodegeneration because it can cross that blood-brain barrier and bring the inflammation down in the brain too. Protects your mitochondria, increases that mitochondrial biogenesis, which, like, again, speaking in regular English, our mitochondria is the power of the cell. It's powerhouse of the cell. And biogenesis means that we're birthing new powerhouses to our cells. So just the rebirth and rebirth and rebirth and improving the redox of the cells, which our redox team is our search and repair and search and destroy team. So they're getting rid of the bad stuff and they're repairing the stuff that needs to be repaired. So again, like if we're drinking a few bottles of this every single day, and the way that I'm going to explain the easiest way to get it into your system is through water. then beautiful things can start shifting really rapidly. Also anti-allergic, anti-inflammatory, anti-cellular death, anti-aging, supports the immune system, increases cellular metabolism, and reduces muscle fatigue. So a lot of athletes have been experiencing great benefits from this as well as just healthy benefits. So what is the best carrier? So there are a lot of different ways to get molecular hydrogen into the body. It's a gas. People are making all different sorts of supplements and products and things. What I found the best, most effective way to get this in the body, because it's pairing with the water and it's being absorbed fully into the cell, is water, because it can hold structure. Water has structure and memory. And if you want to learn more about that, Dr. Masaru Emoto, he wrote a book, I think it's called Memory of Water or The Art of Water or something like that. I can't remember the exact title of it. But his studies were deep on how if you look at the structure of water and like frozen water, you can see how these are affected by different things and words and emotions, and it holds memory. So it's really fascinating what water can do. And this is how we found it just has the most powerful health benefits. And if you are purchasing a product, like whatever form of molecular hydrogen you decide to run with, I have my favorite tool, but if you decide to go another way, I would say just make sure that it's IHSA certified. That is the most important thing because they are making sure that it is a safe way of getting it into your body. Because when we make molecular hydrogen, there can be harmful byproducts that are created within the process of electrolysis. So that's a different conversation to have, but there are bad ways to put this into your body. You can actually be poisoning yourself while getting hydrogen into your system. So that's why I have really searched for the safest and the highest quality device to work with in my practice, because I just want to be getting people the fastest, most efficient results. So Lumivite is my favorite molecular hydrogen company. They have created a device that's unlike anything else in the world, and I'll talk more about that in a second. But basically, they are on a mission to light up the world at a cellular level. And I'm all about efficiency and healing, right? We want to get better fast. And when we work from a cellular level, that's when we can start seeing these big changes happen at a rapid pace. So we are creating a future where technology and wellness can actually evolve together instead of being separate, like the medical system right now. And we are guided by these universal principles of nature. That's what they've like brought together within this bottle. And it's a therapeutic medical device. It is technically a water bottle. It's infusing molecular hydrogen into your water. And Nuno Nina is the inventor of this. He's a scientist and inventor from Portugal, and he's been doing this work for like over 30 years now. And he has figured out how to do this nature technology thing more than anybody. He created this too, not to make money. This is one of the biggest reasons why I love this bottle. Like, it originally was just something he made for his clinic. He had a clinic over there. He was helping people to reverse like cancer and Parkinson's and MS and you name it. He was doing it with molecular hydrogen and frequency therapy. Some of these people weren't even changing their diet, and they were getting these phenomenal results. So he used it for 7 years in his clinic. He made it just for his clients. And then my mentor, Carrie Drinkwine, started partnering and learning about his ways of things, learning about his clinic and his modalities. And she realized, she was like, well, why don't you share this with the world? So she was the one who brought it to the world, and he was the one who invented it. And I love both of them as far as like what they're doing, and they're game changers and really revolutionary humans. This is just a little quote from him. There is a revolution upon us, a revolution to enhance a new way of being, of new science and technology fused by ancient wisdom. A revolution to return to the original source of life, to embrace Mother Nature's instruction and transform the human experience. So he is really doing something unlike the rest of the world, and that's why I love it. So this bottle doesn't just have molecular hydrogen in it, it also has his 3 frequencies in the lid. So there's an energy frequency, which actually increases ATP production. It's supposed to boost your cells. You can use it in the morning. This is the first time ever that I've forgotten to caffeinate myself in my whole life since I started drinking caffeine when I was 12. And I got off coffee when I started my regenerative journey, but I've still been using coffee berry extract and other teas and things to boost myself through the day. Since I started using the energy setting, it's been so much like I forget to drink caffeine, and it's gotten easier and easier to just cut that out of my life. And that's like huge for me. The recovery setting is the next one, and that is like at post workout, or if you're in deep chronic illness, it's just literally sending a signal to your cells, hey, it's time to repair, it's time to repair, it's time to repair. And this is bringing down oxidative stress in the body. And then there's the Lumi Vitae setting, which is so unique to them. And this setting was literally designed to bring light into the body. They have harnessed the frequencies of the sun. And this mimics the photosynthesis effect that happens on plants with the sun. So it's actually having a similar effect as going out and hanging out in nature in the daytime. And that is wonderful for the nervous system regulation as well, and for balancing our circadian rhythms. So it's got the hydrogen-rich three-phase formula. It's got chromotherapy features, which are different lights. I use the red light at night to really soothe me into dreamland. There's a bunch of different lights that you can use. You can look more into chromotherapy therapy if you want to learn more about that. And there's specially designed PEM plates in the bottom. There's a dual chamber, and this is what I was talking about, capturing the harmful byproducts that are created through electrolysis. So everything is being routed out through the base that could harm you, like chlorine can be produced through electrolysis, and we want to make sure that that's not going into your water, it's coming out through the base. And they've meticulously crafted a magnet that they put in the base that mimics the field of the Earth's core. So you were technically earthing because you've heard about earthing, you go out, stand on the earth, and people are having these great effects by just, earthing. Well, you can earth by drinking your water now too. So there's so many different aspects of this bottle that are just beyond anything else in the world. So just to inspire you a little bit more, I wanted to share some testimonies because these are really powerful. So Maggie, 30 years of MS, she had neuropathy, nerve spasms, extreme psoriasis and pain. On day 2 on her bottle, pain and redness of psoriasis significantly decreased, no more swelling, she can walk again, 2 days. Day 10, spasms and neuropathy drastically decreased. If a spasm occurs, she can drink a bottle of water and the pain goes away immediately and doesn't come back all day long. And she's continued to drink the water and improve over time. It's really cool how fast this stuff can have an effect. And if you're healthy, it might be more subtle, like everybody has a different experience with the bottle because it's selective. Whatever your body's struggling with, it's going to go at that first. So Jason had Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, and a paralyzed neck. He was paralyzed by a chiropractor, and he spent 2 years with a frozen neck. He could not move it. On day 2, he regained full mobility of his neck after 2 years of no mobility at all. Day 5, first time in 20 years since his diagnosis of Crohn's disease, he had good digestion. He went from 15 bowel movements a day down to 3. And he did pair the Lumi with a water fast for one of those days. So he just wanted to be clear about that too. There was some diet changes that he was making as well as adding the water in. But 20 years of 15 bowel movements a day, I can't even imagine it, That's huge results. Colette, painful periods, PMS, and bloating. After 2 weeks on the water, the only thing she changed was adding in Lumi water, and she had her first surprise period. Normally she has terrible PMS. She had no PMS, no bloating, not even breast tenderness, never any lower back pain or cramping, which was huge for her. And she had the easiest cycle of her life. She also had great results with her daughter's allergies. She would have terrible allergies with her sister's animals, swelling and itching, weeping of the eyes. And she gave her a bottle of MH the first time that she got the bottle. And within 10 minutes, her daughter looked absolutely normal. All of her allergies just dropped away, and they've continued to improve with time. And Darla had chronic fatigue, trouble sleeping, extreme inflammation, and depression. So after 6 days on the bottle, at first she was feeling some detox symptoms, but she was happy about this because it had been really hard for her to detox on any level. And this was approachable for her. It wasn't too much. And she now is feeling on day 6 so much more energy. She's sleeping well. She's actually had a huge shift in her inflammation, which she's tried so many different things. She tried everything in the book, and this was actually something that she said was next level effective for her. And the most remarkable thing, and this is what I keep seeing with the frequency therapy too, is the amount of joy that she was experiencing, the gratitude and the deep love that she was feeling inside. And this is something that I've experienced with the bottle too, is like I feel happier on a day-to-day basis. It's easier to access joy. It's easier to just like bounce back from an upset. Like it can just drop away instead of like sitting with it like I used to, which is a really big deal for me. And then I wanted to include this because I thought this was really cool too. There was Carrie Drinkwine, my mentor. She is the founder of the Institute of Regenerative Health. She wanted to show difference in blood analysis 5 minutes after drinking a bottle of Lumivite water. And this person had not been drinking Lumivite water before this. And she had a doctor come on with her too, a blood work doctor, and explain that like when the blood is cloudy like this means that there's more pathogens in the system, a higher viral load, generally speaking. So 5 minutes after drinking one bottle of Lumivite, that's just one bottle of a 6 minute cycle, you can see that the blood is starting to clear up. There's not nearly as much cloudiness here. The cells are starting to move more apart, and declump as well, which that happens more and more over time because when we are really inflamed, the cells start clumping together. And when we are not, they start dispersing. So that was really neat too, I thought, and super inspiring. Do we have any questions? I know I've just been talking a lot. So before I go into the bottle features, I just wanted to see if anybody had any burning questions. We're gonna have a Q&A at the end, but are we all good so far? Yeah?
So
Okay.
far, so good.
Okay, thank you. All right, so unique bottle features and quality. So again, I'm all about cream of the crop. That's the only thing I want to work with. So I love this bottle because it's eco-friendly, it's BPA free, it's medical grade Triton, which is super durable. Like you couldn't break it if you wanted to. PEM membrane, that is the membrane in the dual chamber membrane in the base. Literally, Carrie and Nuno took all of the membranes from all of the other molecular hydrogen water bottle companies, and they took them apart and they took the membranes out and they literally tried to break them apart and destroy them in different ways because they wanted to create like the best membrane in the world. And they found that the other ones were easy to destroy and they could literally rip them apart. And with our membrane, they could hit it with a hammer. They tried to break it. They tried in so many different ways and they couldn't break it. It's that tough. So I love that. It's got advanced low voltage electrolysis that doesn't affect pH. A lot of people are wild about their alkaline water right now, but if we use alkaline water for an extended period of time, it's too alkaline for the gut and it can create gut dysbiosis over time. And we don't want that. So this is a way that we can get this goodness into our body. It can be deeply therapeutic and we're not affecting the pH of the water. It's also got that Earth's the magnetic core in the base. It's got the frequencies. It's been clinically proven to support optimal hydration concentration, and it's crafted for durability and longevity. So it's got a 2-year warranty. It's designed to last like 7 to 10 years. And even if you use your bottle for 2 years and it broke then, you would be paying less than $1 a day to make every sip of water therapeutic. So the other cool thing about this bottle too is you can make tea and coffee with it. So it can go up to 212 degrees Fahrenheit and not break that container. So I also love standing by companies that I really care about and that are doing things that I believe in and that I think are awesome. And Lumivite aligns with everything more than any other company that I've found. I really do love them. So if anybody was struggling and they were like, hey, I really want a bottle, but I don't have the money for it, you could actually make money. You could make the money through the company to buy the bottle yourself if you needed it medically. Because they are the only company I've found that doesn't require you to buy anything to make commission. And to keep getting commission, you only have to sell one bottle every 3 months, which is phenomenal. They don't require auto ship. They don't have any non-complete clauses. And you get free education and business coaching if you want that. That can be part of that. And it's $100 a bottle if you wanted to make money with a company, which again, I haven't heard of anything like this as far as there's a lot of MLMs out there that you got to buy your package and then you got to, play the game. But it's not like that with them, which is I find so inspiring and they light up my heart. So just wanted to share that with you before you close out here. And now it is question time. So does anybody have anything that was unclear for them? Any burning questions before we finish up? No?
Could we go back to the benefits slide? I was trying to jot them down and I couldn't quite get them all.
Absolutely. I would be happy to do that. Let's go back here.
I think you had 2 pages.
I do. Yeah. Sorry, it's
Yeah.
just a little ways back. Yeah, there's so many things. Like, again, we could talk all day. I could do a workshop on each one of these benefits. Um, so yeah, let me know when you have these ones and I can pass the next slide on too.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So yeah, if anybody wants to learn more about this, if you're intrigued, if you know of somebody who's struggling and like they really aren't getting better, this could be a game changer for them. And it's so again, it's so simple. And yes, it's a $500 bottle. I'll be transparent, but it's a one-time purchase and it's the gift that keeps giving and you will see it give back to you. Um, so I like the ASEA that I work with is another redox cell signaling supplement. It's phenomenal, but it's pretty expensive and it adds up month after month. So this could be another way to go about it where you're getting deep cellular regeneration and you're not having to pay out of pocket every month.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Next slide. Okay,
Yes,
there we go.
please. X, anticellular death. Thank you.
Of course. Anything else anybody wants to bring up before we finish? Thank you so put my final slide up here. If you do want to learn more of the science, this is a great starting point. The regenerativewaterwisdom.com. There are educational videos on there. There's other links to educational resources. The Molecular Hydrogen Institute is incredible. They have a whole institute around this. So you can actually like get a certification about molecular hydrogen if you wanted to. And this is my Facebook and my website too. If you would like to learn more, please reach out to me and be happy to share with you. And thank you all for coming today. I really, really do love to see your faces, and I'll talk to you maybe soon.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Elsa.
you. Have a beautiful day.
Bye.
Hi, Elsa. Thank you.
Thank you.